Peace. Yes. How are you, Dr. Tiffany?
I'm just great. How are you?
I am just great as well. And I'm not sure what happened to that Instagram feed, but it's not giving me the option to do what I wanted it to do. So, wow. I don't think
Hmm.
we're live on Instagram. But how was your week?
I can't complain. I can't complain. I just came back from Fort Lauderdale looking at yachts because that's the life I'm living now. And, you know, I'm having a
I
great time.
did see you a picture in a yacht. I didn't realize it was like home shopping.
You know what? It's about, vision casting, seeing where you want to go and just looking at these gorgeous, ships. They are gorgeous, gorgeous. Like, who would want a house? Let me just live on the water. Let me just live on the water.
Yeah, and you could just kind of go wherever you wanted to go, I guess, so long as there was water. But I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
There's those hurricane things every now and then.
Of course. You
You
would
know,
throw a damper in that.
there's
Anyway.
those things that kind of put a little spoiler on the. But so you were in Fort Lauderdale, you went back home, and now you're going back out to Orlando.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Shut up. I had work to do here. I had work to do here. Anyway.
Hi there, folks. My name is Jim, and this is Dr. Tiffany, and welcome to our live stream. I like to start off by introducing myself, saying that I used to be a type 2 diabetic because I used to be a type 2 diabetic. It never gets tired. I never get tired of saying that, Dr. Tiff.
Right.
I used to be a type 2 diabetic. I had a 12.2% A1C. I no longer have a 4.8, Dr. Tiff. It did creep up. I have not been as good with my diet as I should have been. It's now 5.1, but I'll
Oh,
take it. I'll take
okay.
it.
Okay.
5.1. And truthfully, when I was going into it, I was like, man, I have not been good. I've been getting into the sweets. I've been doing things that I shouldn't do that got me sick in the first place. And you know what? 5.1, I'll recover. I'm going to get it back down to a 4.8. So start straightening the ship a little bit. But hey, that's what this system does. Is it gives you a little bit more food freedom than you would otherwise have. And I love it. I love talking about it. I started going to TikTok and talking about this. It's almost been 3 years now, hard to believe. And I've had no fewer than 100 people reverse type 2 diabetes as well, heart disease, high blood pressure, hypertension, and then just a plethora of other things. Dr. Tiffany, lupus, like so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And about a year ago, I got with I guess it's been about a year and a half ago, Dr. Tiffany and I, when did we start? About a year and a half, well, July. That's hard to believe. Wow. And we decided to start doing this and bringing in some of those people and talking about this system because it's life-saving. And so if you've been invited here by somebody, stick around for this live stream. This might just be the thing that changes your life. Tonight might be that momentum change for you, where you learn something from Dr. Tiff, maybe you learn something from one of our guests that just changes the direction of your life. And Dr. Tiff, I'm really excited about our guest tonight. So why don't you tell them about you, Dr. Tiff?
Hello. I am Dr. Tiffany Marie, a double board certified physician in family and lifestyle medicine. And after 20 years of writing prescriptions and seeing my patients just not look any better and be on a bunch of medications with side effects, then drug interactions, I knew there had to be something else. That's when I got board certified in lifestyle medicine. I was already doing private practice, urgent care, and then the last few years I've been doing telemedicine across 48 states. So then I got to really see how bad things are. And then I started getting on social media once I learned about going after the root causes of conditions, which is what lifestyle medicine is. Get to the lifestyle. And I started talking about that on social media. And that's when I got connected with our friend who has literally changed the whole path of my life, a wonderful lady who we're going to get to celebrate this weekend. Mm-hmm. But I did that, and she started talking about these natural products. What? Who does that? What doctor is talking about natural products? Not me, ever. And I did the research on them. I vetted them just like I would vet the pharmaceutical reps that would come in. And it made sense. They had great studies, and we'll talk about that too. But I was able to get off of my blood pressure medicine, able to help my brother get off his insulin, his Trulicity, his metformin, taking his happy tail out the ICU for the second time, and helping my mom with her MS. And so one, she can wear heels again. Simple stuff like that, right? But just like you, I've been able to help hundreds of people directly, but thousands in extension. And I mean, besides the fact that 1 million people have already been taking these products, I love what we're doing. Who wouldn't want to keep doing this?
You just said something, by extension, thousands. And I think it's bigger than that number. This live stream week in and week out gets seen by thousands upon thousands.
Wow.
We're live. I don't know if people recognize this, but we're live on like 10 different platforms, 11 different platforms right now. Facebook. I don't think we're live on Instagram. I think I might have screwed that up. But YouTube, Rumble. So if you've been invited to this live stream, stick around and watch it. If at the end of this you decide you want to try these products, just get with the person who invited you here. They'll tell you exactly how to order it. If you are one of these people that's had an amazing experience on these products, you've reversed diabetes, you've lowered your cholesterol, you've lowered your blood pressure, you've lost, Dr. Tiff, we've had people lose 200 pounds,
right.
300 pounds. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you're one of these people that's had this amazing experience and you want to share this stuff and you're like, I don't really know how to talk about it. Well, this is the perfect time to put them in front of Dr. Tiffany, put them in front of these guests, right? And let them listen as well. So if you wanted to invite somebody, if you're on YouTube, there's that little arrow that has the little swoop thing. Just click that arrow and then share this with as many people as you can. If you're on Facebook, all you have to do is type that little @ symbol and then start typing the person's name that you want to invite, like Dr. Tiffany Marie. And at some point, it'll populate their name, hit enter, and then hit enter. The next time that they log into Facebook, it'll say, hey, you were tagged in something, and they'll go and watch it. Hopefully we get an opportunity to save their lives too. So with that being said, I'm going to encourage everybody who's listening right now to invite 5 people. Let's go for 5 people. If everybody watching right now invites 5 people, let's just see how many people we can change tonight. So the way that this goes is we usually bring in 2 guests. And they tell some amazing stories. Now, I have not actually met Dr. Tiffany's guest, but obviously I've met my guest, and I'm really excited about her. I'm really excited about who Dr. Tiffany has here as well. But then Dr. Tiffany will go in and really give you an opportunity to learn why people are getting sick today. And if you wanted to grab a notepad and a pen, that would be a great opportunity. Watch what she's going to present to you. Take some notes. And at the end of this live stream, I'll go through and I'll explain kind of how the system works, how we use the system, and then we open it up for a Q&A where you can ask Dr. Tiffany, questions. You can ask our guest questions. If you want to ask me any questions, you could ask me. But this is just an awesome opportunity to engage and interact. And really, really, Dr. Tiff, what I love about this is just wholesome and pure. It's an opportunity to help somebody else get out of a bad place. I feel like a lot of times people, when they land in front of, I'm just telling my story here real quick. When they land in front of me on TikTok, I get stuck thinking about where they're at. If they find themselves listening to some random barbecue dude on TikTok, they got to feel hopeless. And I recognize that. I see you, I hear you. And if that is you, listen to this live stream today, okay? This live stream might just change your life. So with that being said, Dr. Tiff, do we want to invite Charlene or Charlene?
Well, you know what? Let's invite Shaw, because I think she may have a little bit more nerves. Let's go and let her do her thing.
I'm down. I like this. And it's a joke because my guest is named Charlene, and this is Shaw, and she told me right before we went live that her name is Charlene, and so we have 2 Charlenes, but one of them goes by Shaw.
Yes. So there's no confusion. No
confusion whatsoever. That was just a cheap little joke for me. I take the low-hanging fruit, Dr. Tiff. You should know this by now.
Yes, I do. So I've gotten a chance to get to know this wonderful lady months ago. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna let you tell your story, but she's a woman that helps so many people and understands the importance of tapping into our lifestyle and doing natural things. And it was just made perfect sense for her to actually look at these products. And not only that, she was able to have great results. So I'm not going to step on your toes and let you do your thing. Have the floor.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. I'm Sha, and I've been on the product since April. What got me started on it was I needed to make a change. I wasn't sure how I could make a change. My goal was to be healthier, and I realized that I probably suffered from insulin resistance. I didn't have any tests or any anything to know that for sure, but I had symptoms of had a big belly, and I was overweight. I weighed 153 pounds when I first started. And I happened to be going through some social media, and I heard someone talking about insulin resistance, and it made me pause because it's like, oh, yeah, I could never really quite understand what that meant. And this person explained it very, very succinctly, and it made sense. And I checked in with, they started talking about a product that would help, a tea and a fiber. And I was a little skeptical, but they talked about a 90-day guarantee. And I thought, well, what do I have to lose? I can get my money back if it doesn't work for me. So I tried it, and in those 90 days, I had success. Uh, I I knew that you probably lost weight from people telling their story. I was impressed by the stories people were telling, and that actually happened to me. I was 153. I wound up going down. I was April 20, right after Easter, I was 153. By June 17th, I was 138. That blew my mind. I took a picture of the scale, sent it to my daughter, and that was that. So that was within the 90 days. Of course, I wasn't going to ask for my money back because it was working for me. My A1C had changed. It had gotten lower. I was on a pre-diabetic uh, test from the results, and I felt great. My energy was high. I always felt like I didn't need as much sleep. I had been struggling with brain fog and thyroid issues. I have Hashimoto's, high blood pressure, the low energy, and not everything has shifted. I certainly don't have. I still have high blood pressure issues and Hashimoto's, but I'm working on it, and I'm hoping the product will continue with that. My The things that were hardest for me, for years I had been trying to lose weight, and I had tried many different diets, veganism, vegetarian, just about every kind of diet you could think about, I tried. It was very difficult for me to lose the belly. I had a client once who said to me, I don't understand why you're so large. Um, you say you've been a raw foodist, but how is it that you don't lose any weight? I'm like, that's a really good question. I wondered myself why I haven't lost weight, because I ate really well. And when I say well, I mean lots of salads, lots of greens, uh, farm raised animals. I just did all the good things. No junk, very little, just a little bit. So I didn't
Me too.
understand what was going on. So by starting the product, I wound up feeling different. And I started walking. I made a change in my life because I felt, well, listening to people, Dr. Tiffany and others talking about it, walking, you needed to do it, exercise. So I started walking. I made a commitment to myself to walk and to work out. I hired a health coach to help me with strength and keeping focus. And here I am, 6 months later, feeling and looking great. I feel younger. I feel like I am aging backwards, which is what people would often say to me.
Let me try one more time. For some reason, I have been trying to share her picture. It still didn't pop
It
up.
was up there. It was up there, too.
Okay.
It was up there.
Okay.
Yeah. It was up there. Yeah. I saw it the second time. It was funny. It like popped up, but then it went away from me real quick. And I wasn't able to show it. So, but I was able to put it up there.
Okay.
Yeah. It looked amazing. And you do. So there, and we have to go to like somebody like Dr. Tiff. You're smarter than me, Dr. Tiff. Clearly, there's something about the anti-aging thing that there really is some sort of thing where we start to age backwards, right?
Yeah, the glutathione, it increases that production, and that's a huge antioxidant. We see our skin clearing up and looking better, and I don't think anybody thought about that. You know, I look at even some of my pictures and I'm like, dang it, oh, something happened. I didn't think, oh, my skin would clear up and look better because I wasn't really having a lot of breaking out or anything, but it sure did change. And I noticed that with so many people.
Can you put that pic up again, Dr. Tiff?
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, look at my skin. I mean,
Yes, fabulous. Fabulous.
I'm aging backwards.
So smart.
That was what I really noticed. I noticed, you know, as I lost weight, what it looked like in my neck and my face. That's what I noticed first. And my clothes fit better. I love that.
Yes.
We have the saying now that you got to go shopping in your own closet.
Yes.
I
Yes.
do.
Yes.
That's true. Yes.
We saw it that time, didn't you?
Yes. I still
Okay.
see it.
Okay, good.
Shah, that's an amazing. I love this. And I guess I would just want to ask a simple question. How do you feel?
I feel great. I wake up every morning about between 4:30 and 5:30, and I try to hit the gym not long after that so I can at least get that done. And I walk 4 to 5 days a week, anywhere from 35 minutes to an hour and a half.
Yeah. So already doing the lifestyle stuff, but I love how soft and demure she comes off, right? She's been referring people to me like crazy. It's just been person after person. I'm like, how do you know me, Shah? How do you know me, Shah? And I'm like, okay, I love this. That's what happens when you start getting these good results. You want to shout it from the rooftop. You want to help other people. And I love that about you. I appreciate you. So happy you came on and broke out your shell a little bit. This was good. Everybody give her some love.
Yeah.
This was
Well,
actually-
that was it.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's definitely.
I love sharing it with people because it just feels so good. People should know if they want to try it.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, Shah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to stick around to the end of the live stream, and I'd like to bring you back for any questions anybody might have for you, if that's all right.
Yes. Okay. I'll be here.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, Shah.
All right.
Yes.
Dr. Tiff, that is awesome.
It is. I love
awesome.
it.
You know what? She sounds, like you said, quiet spoken, soft spoken. And then she's like, yeah, I go to the gym every day between 4:30 and 5:30 in the morning. Like pumping iron.
Yeah.
Real soft spoken, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, Dr. Tiffany, do you want to go through and kind of just show everybody what's going on? How does this thing work? What is our problem?
Yes.
And you know what's funny? I know I'm going to put you on the spot here real quick, Dr. Tiff, as you're loading that up. I was never told about this.
Mm-hmm.
I was never told about the what, and I don't want to, I guess I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but Dr. Tiff's getting ready to talk about insulin resistance. I was never told about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the real thing. That's the real problem. And yeah, I do kind of talk about that. But yeah, most people weren't told about it because honestly, we weren't taught about it this way. We were taught about looking at type 2 diabetes as if that was the only thing, as if they weren't related. But thank goodness to scientists and people studying and learning more, like Dr. Ben Bickman. You know, I'm a fangirl. Can't wait to see him this weekend.
You know
Just
what?
saying it.
You know what? Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna don't do anything to your screen. I'm just gonna turn it off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to put in a quick plug for that. This weekend, Saturday, Dr. Tiff and I are going to be in Orlando together with a lot of people. I'm thinking there's going to be thousands and thousands of people there listening to Dr. Ben Bickman, Dr. Jason Fung, a bunch of these people. If you are, it's late notice, but if you are near that Orlando area and you'd like to go and listen to some of the top experts in the world talking about this. I would love to see there. I'd love to shake your hand. If you are going to be there and you're already planning on, I would love to shake your hand. So Dr. Tiff, I don't mean to cut you off right there, but it was an opportunity to kind of plug the convention. It's going to be life-changing.
I know. I have some people that are like, I'm just going to come. And I said, great. I can't wait to just see you there. Who wouldn't want to be there with all those people?
I know it.
Right. Okay. So the problem we're talking about is the reality that so many people are struggling and don't know. So they did this study, and this is 2022. There's some even updated stuff, but this is 2022, and only 7% of Americans actually have good cardiometabolic health. So what does that say about the 93% that's left? It doesn't sound good. And so the leading prescription prescribed by providers is a statin, and that's to decrease the risk for cardiovascular disease. And it only helps 1 out of 100 people. That doesn't sound like a lot of people because it's not. But if you make lifestyle changes, you can improve your cardiometabolic health by 39%. That's huge, okay? Up to 39%. And then, unfortunately, heart disease is still the #1 killer. Still. How crazy is that? With everything we know, this is still taking us out. That means what we've been teaching isn't enough. That's why we needed new scientists. We needed new studies to actually dig into what the real root cause is. And the root cause, insulin resistance. Right in the middle of heart disease, diabetes, dementia, stroke, migraines. I'm going to go into some specifics with some of these too. High blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, fatty liver, PCOS. I mean, we actually knew PCOS was related to insulin resistance because the medication that we prescribe for this is metformin. That's a diabetes medication, the first line diabetes medication. So let's talk about this. Insulin is a hormone released by the pancreas, and its job is to get glucose into the cells. Without insulin, that glucose is not going to get into those cells to be used for energy. So you need insulin. That's an important hormone. But when you're eating and you eat a lot of carbohydrates, you get a glucose spike. And then it makes your pancreas have to release a lot of insulin. Then ends up dropping that glucose too quickly and low and overshoots. That's where you get the crash. So you have the spike and crash feelings. This is where people sometimes get their headaches, to where people feel hangry. This is where people say I'm hypoglycemic when the reality is it's reactive to it being too high and it dropping too low. So to understand insulin resistance, it's good to look at the symptoms, okay? These symptoms aren't just type 2 diabetes, people. Type 2 diabetes is the end result of insulin resistance. Before you get to type 2 diabetes, you have things like this: cravings for sugar, salty, difficulty losing weight, particularly around the midsection, constantly being hungry, the skin tags. Now that's a kicker, because one of my favorite friends, she said, I am the healthiest person you know. So I know I don't have insulin resistance. I jump out of planes for a living. I eat veggies. I am all of that, right? But she had skin tags. But once she started using these natural products, those skin tags fell off. So she figured out, yeah, I had insulin resistance. And the dark patches on the neck, adult acne, irregular menstrual cycles, high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, the man boobs. I mean, the list goes on, okay? How did we get here? Well, there is a study that shows that the global nutrient database, that 3/4 of what we eat in the world are carbohydrates. And then on top of that, the carbohydrates are losing what we need them. They don't have the fiber like they used to. But what happens is, say you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, you've been fasting all night. So your insulin is low because it hasn't had to get any glucose into the cells because you're not eating, right? You've been fasting. And so as soon as you eat with that breakfast, if you choose one of the common things that we eat for breakfast, cereal, toast, oatmeal, muffins, donuts, okay? That's going to kick up your glucose level. And doing so is going to make your insulin have to kick up to get that into the cells. Then you're going to have a drop, you're going to have a crash, and you're going to want to eat again. That's where that snack, that midday snack comes in. You feel like you need to eat again. That's that constantly feeling like you need to eat. And what's easy to grab as a snack? A carbohydrate. It's not easy to grab a piece of steak. So now your carbohydrate kicks up, insulin kicks up. Then lunch comes, and for most of us who are working, you grab something that's quick and easy. That might be a sandwich. It might be a burger. It might be pizza. Okay, those are carb, if you heard me. Again, increase, insulin goes up. Then afternoon snack because you feel like you need it. Then dinner, and then dessert possibly. Okay, so all day long, your insulin's been bathing your cells. And over time, your cells have become resistant. They start down regulating those receptors because they don't feel like they need it. You're overwhelming them with the insulin, and that's from the food you're eating. And so the way we try to, or what doctors have always done, is we've kind of chased after the sugar. When type 2 diabetes came up, that's the way we managed it, was chase the sugar. Look at the A1C, which gives you an average of your blood sugar for about 3 months. It looks at the glycosylation over red blood cells, and those red blood cells die off maybe 90 to 120 days. So that's why you look at this every 3 months, okay? And we look at the fasting glucose. But we use the A1C to kind of put you in a category of either type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, or normal, okay? And so normal has an A1C less than 5.7, okay? 5.7 to 6.4, that's pre-diabetes. And diabetes is above 6.4, okay? Now, a lot of times you can have all those symptoms on that previous slide, but still be in the normal range. The skin tags, the dark patches, the man boobs, the blood pressure, the difficulty losing weight, but still be in the normal range. So if you go to your doctor and you're still in normal range, what are you told? Oh, just lose some weight, you'll be okay. Oh, it's just menopause, especially if you're a woman of a certain age. That's where that gets thrown in. And what's missing is you're actually dealing with insulin resistance. That's why you have these symptoms. And so you become frustrated. And if you have a good doctor, they're frustrated too, because they want to help you. They don't want you feeling horrible. But unfortunately, they don't know quite what to do with that because they weren't taught to check insulin. And so reason why we need to check insulin, because before you get to type 2 diabetes, insulin is high in your bloodstream, and that's when it's wreaking havoc. So when it's high in your bloodstream, it actually causes high blood pressure. It allows your kidneys to hold on to sodium. So wherever sodium is, water follows. So that's going to increase your blood volume. And then what it also does, it inflames the lining of the inside of the vessel. So that's going to make it not a smooth surface. So you have to increase the pressure to push past that, right? And then nitric oxide is there to help dilate blood vessels. And so this doesn't work as well. And so since those blood vessels don't dilate well, you're going to have increased blood volume. You're going to have a fluffy inside of your vessel. And then you're going to have resistance to stiff blood vessels. So that's going to increase blood pressure there. And then when your insulin is high, what does it do? It actually increases triglycerides. It also increases the LDL, the small, dense particles of LDL, the ones that actually get into the lining and cause the lining, the whole lumen of the blood vessel to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So it causes those blockages, and that can end up with the heart attacks, even strokes. And it can also cause PCOS. That's that leading cause of infertility for women. Causes the cysts to develop, causes the ovaries to develop cysts. You can have weight gain, causes hair growth in places they aren't supposed to be, on your face, on your body for women, and even hair loss. And then it disrupts menstrual cycles. That's how it plays a role in infertility. And then menopause. So the whole erectile dysfunction, the blood flow issue I just brought up, that kind of explains that too. But it also affects low testosterone, causing low testosterone, and then causing the production of that conversion from testosterone to estrogen. Now you're having more of those man boobs. Okay, that's not a dad bod thing. That's an unhealthy, metabolically unhealthy bod that needs to actually work on some things. Okay, and how it can affect autoimmune conditions. So insulin resistance goes right hand in hand with chronic inflammation, and boy, does this wreak havoc. It wreaks havoc in our gut. It causing us to have leaky gut, especially when you have those bad bacteria eating up the lining. That's not a great thing at all. And those things start seeping out into your abdominal cavity. And that chronic inflammation actually impairs T cells function, which is to tell your body what not to attack. Well, if you're confused at what not to attack and stuff is all up in your abdominal cavity in your body, you start attacking yourself because you think you're protecting yourself is what's happening. Unfortunately, you end up with things like rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, lupus, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, those conditions, Hashimoto's. And so if we can improve insulin resistance and improve the inflammation, we are seeing people have better results even in those conditions. The gut plays a huge role. So much so that these processed foods are killing out the good bacteria. And they're killing us, literally. There was actually a study back in April that showed that, one, there's more. Okay, let me not say this because this goes live. But the point is, those processed foods are not our friend. So let me not say they're literally killing us. But, I mean, really, you can do some studies and you do some research. You'll see it. But these barcoded, boxed, and packaged foods like Kraft, Nestle, they are actually having too many additives in there. And they've pulled out the fiber, which is what we need. Because without the fiber, you can eat a whole bunch of them. And then it causes them to be addictive. And our brains like sugar. It lights it up like a Christmas tree. So we start eating sugar. It's almost as if it's something else that's addictive. Protein doesn't do this, fat doesn't do this, but sugar does this. And you end up feeling as if you can't say no to sugar and carbohydrates. And that's because, like I said, the fiber's gone. It's not quite the same. So it's easy to overeat. But more importantly, we're missing the fiber for its benefits. It blocks inflammation. All the different colors in the fiber, the antioxidants, the polyphenols, we need them. They're there to help us. And we miss them when we aren't eating all the fiber we need appropriately. And then fasting. Fasting is a huge, huge benefit to us trying to take back control of our health. So excited to hear from Dr. Funk, who actually literally reversed people's type 2 diabetes with fasting, just not eating. Because after 17 hours, 17 to 72 hours, you actually get a state called autophagy. That's when your cells detox themselves, pretty much. You get rid of the broken things, the broken mitochondria. This is huge. Things start to repair that you thought wouldn't repair. Your gut, your neurons. We get people improving in their neuropathy. And so some would say, because this whole GLP-1 receptor agonist thing, these shots have just become so hot right now. Can this help? Because, people believe it can help anything. Well, how about you already have this hormone in your small intestine? You actually have the hormone, not the receptor that's in those shots. You have the hormone. And so that hormone helps with allowing you to feel full, but also delays how food moves through your stomach, which is good. Turns off your brain so you don't feel like I need to eat that. And it turns off the carb noise and the food noise. The shots, yeah, they do that, but they do it at an astronomical level, and they bind to a receptor to pretend like they're your hormone. But they come with some baggage, okay? They come with some big baggage. 40% of the weight loss that you can get from those receptor agonist shots is from lean mass, bone, muscle. Okay, I need my muscle and my bone. Anybody over 20 needs their muscle and their bone. Serious complications like thyroid cancer, pancreatitis, gastroparesis, and gut perforation. Those things don't sound simple, right? Because they're not. Now, what it's supposed to do is to turn off the food noise and the cravings. But after 2 years, do you know that stops happening? Now they need a higher dosage. Now they need a different medication. I had to do those things when I was prescribing them. So I was so excited to see that, one, we can boost our own GLP-1 naturally. We don't need a special shot with all the crazy side effects. We can do this. And that's what we've come across with the Feel Great system, particularly with the Unimate. That actually boosts the GLP-1 level especially when you add the ferulic acid and how it gets broken down into the gut. It increases that 60 to 70%. That is huge. And so our gut health and how it breaks even the ferulic acid down, how we feed the trains of bacteria in our gut matter. So having a good fiber, I don't like to call it a fiber supplement because it's more like a medical grade fiber. It has enough fiber in there and vitamins, but what it does is it treats those trains of bacteria in your gut. So that way we get the right stuff we need. So the bad bacteria isn't causing havoc in the gut, causing breakdown in the walls, causing leakiness. That is huge. We need that. Plus that breaks down the food we eat. So we get the nutrients out of it and we get rid of the toxins. We need our gut working well. So we get rid of the toxins. So it's not sitting inside of us. So having the right type of fiber makes all the difference. So hence why I'm speaking up. Thousands of lives changed. I mean, really, there's more than that because we already know 1 million people have already been exposed to the products. And we get to see text from people, see their results. Bottom line, insulin resistance is not genetic, meaning you can fix this. It's 100% your lifestyle. But sometimes you need the tools to help, to make it easier to do those things. Everybody's not like Shaw, getting up, going to the gym. Some people need the energy boost. Some people need the focus to push them along to do what they need to do. So what's stopping you? Take back control of your health now. And the reason why I keep talking about this stuff is because when I get to help one person, two persons, hundreds of people, I feel like a superhero. And I want my people that I'm helping to feel like superheroes too, because it doesn't just take me. We need all the voices we can get to help as many people as we can. So I am literally a doctor who just got tired of writing prescriptions. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and today on Wednesday.
You are amazing, by the way. And I want to just let everybody know that, like, Dr. Tiffany, I don't know what your billing rate is, but I don't imagine like it's cheap, right? And so Dr. Tiff comes onto this every Wednesday and shares her knowledge. This is 20 years in practice and then not only that, something else you mentioned a little bit ago that you're a fangirl over Dr. Ben Dickman.
Yes.
You never really talked about the fact that you're one of his coaches.
Yes, I got certified as a metabolic health coach with Dr. Ben Bickman's Insulin IQ program. Phenomenal.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. We've got one of the best of the best right here, week in and week out. And if I don't say it enough to you, Dr. Tiff, I appreciate you. You're amazing.
I appreciate
You're
you.
amazing.
Thanks, Jim.
You know what? You as we get ready to transition over here real quick to Charlene, I wanted to just touch on something. And as I was listening to your presentation, I learned something new every single time. But something led me down this cost path. This idea of how much does it cost, right? I hear people say eating healthy is expensive, right? And I've been going down this thing lately and saying, wait a minute, eating unhealthy is really expensive. And so I just want to beat a drum really quick. Bear with me here. Where's it at? It's right here. This is from the Centers for Disease Control, right? And it's their diabetes report card. In the United States, 38 million Americans pre-diabetic are diabetic, 98 million are pre-diabetic. But this right here, $413 billion in total medical costs and lost work and wages for people with diagnosed diabetes. Now, that $413 billion comes from this study right here. This was published January 1st of 2024, so almost 2 years ago. Economic costs of diabetes in the United States in 2022. Now, if what Dr. Tiff just taught us was that, lifestyle, this is a lifestyle thing, the foods that we're eating, the exercise that we're not getting, here are some staggering numbers. And I mean, wow, when you actually just listen to these numbers, and this is what I like to just dig through PubMed. This is being 48, I think. On average, people with diabetes incur annual medical expenditures of $19,736, of which approximately $12,022 is attributable to diabetes. It costs $20,000 a year to have diabetes.
Wow.
And if what we just learned from you was that this is a lifestyle thing, that it can be controlled with lifestyle, I mean, that's a big deal. It costs. So when people say it's expensive to eat clean, no. I mean, who could use an extra 20 grand in their pocket? I mean, and unless you enjoy paying $20,000 to have diabetes, like, it's not like you're getting a new car. It's not like you're getting like I mean, that pays for mortgages. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
To have diabetes. It's not like you're getting like a prize. I mean, it's not a prize that anybody wants. Anyway, I digress. Just think about that. That's well over $1,000 a month, $1,500, $1,700 a month, of which 12,022, that's easy math, exactly $1,000 a month is directly attributable to the diabetes.
Wow.
You think, wow, my insurance covers it. Is your insurance cheap? Because mine isn't. Right. Why is insurance, and now you start to think, why is insurance just climbing? It's because 38 million people have something that's reversible. That's why it's so expensive. Wow. Your ways. Anyway, I'm beating the drum. I want to bring in Charlene here. There she is. Hi, Charlene.
Hi, Dr. Tiff.
Hello.
How are you, Charlene?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm excited.
Yes, I get to see you this weekend with Dr. Tiff.
Woohoo!
Here we come, Orlando.
Well, they're not ready.
No, they're not ready for this.
No.
Charlene, introduce everybody to you and tell us your story.
Okay. My name is Charlene Hampton, and I reside in Anchorage, Alaska, where I work as a pharmacist in both specialty and community pharmacy. And my journey with the Feel Great system started shortly after I lost my dad, about 8 months in February of this year. It was a heavy season for me at that time. I was doing my best to show up, but um, if I'm being honest, I was having trouble showing up as that same midlife, high achieving mom and professional that I've always been. My sleep was a mess. It was interrupted. It wasn't through. I had trouble sleeping through the night. I was tired all the time. Brain fog was something that made simple things feel harder than they should. I had been dealing with stubborn weight gain that I couldn't lose. I also had the belly fat that seemed to be growing. In the light of the situation that that I was actually experiencing in my family and my personal life, I really had all these things prior to that time. It just seemed to intensify at the time of the loss. So I was having trouble getting back on track. I had I had met for coffee with a longtime friend, which a lot of us know here, Dr. G. She was a fellow mom. Also, we were mommy friends. And that day at coffee, she had a box of Feel Great system in her car, and she gave it to me and she said, "Try this and let me know what you think." So I did. And within 1 week, the first thing I noticed, it was very blatant, was the reduction in inflammation. I was running to the bathroom quite a bit, just getting rid of all this retained fluid. I knew it couldn't be anything else. It happened all of a sudden. So that was the first thing I noticed. The rings fit a little bit better. I didn't look or feel as puffy. And I was happy with that after about a week. The next thing, which was really within days, I had better sleep. And the sleep was the type of sleep that when I got up in the morning, I felt rested. I noticed it right away. I was like, okay, I haven't had sleep like this felt like years. So that was the second thing. I said, I think I'm onto something. Some other things I experienced were just the increase in energy. I would say it was like sustained energy. I had better endurance for my long days at work. When I graduated from pharmacy school, within a year of practicing as a pharmacist, I had been diagnosed with plantar fasciitis, which is inflammation of the fascia, the muscle in your foot,
It's
the bottom of your
debilitating.
foot. And it created a lot of pain. I did get orthotics, and that helped for a while. But as I got older, and just the changes in hormones that happen in midlife, I also started to experience hip pain. And that may have been poor ergonomics, but still, I had hip pain, I had knee pain, and it made it really difficult to go up the stairs when I got home from work, a long day at work. That improved. That actually went away. I didn't need my support socks anymore. I still wear my orthotics, but I overall could go without them. And that was huge quality of life improvement for me. And so, with those as the baseline, I was sold. So at 90 days, I didn't have a substantial weight loss, but I did have a reduction in fat. I have one of those scales that measure fat. And for sure, I lost 4% fat in the 90 days with that one scale. And I just could do everything plus that I couldn't do before and more. So that's my story. And I'm happy.
I love it. You mentioned sleep. I remember a day, my wife and I started at about the same time. And there was a day, it was about a month in. I think we both rolled over on like a weekend morning, and it's like we rolled into each other, and I think we woke up at the same time, and we were like, "Did you just sleep all night long?" And she was like, "I just slept all night long." And there had been a few times where I woke up, drool on pillow, thinking I missed the school bus. Like, what just happened to me? Yeah.
Who was getting on the school bus? The kids?
Like,
Yeah.
oh no! The school's gonna be mad today.
I just thought of another thing when you said school. Not that I drank coffee before school, but I stopped needing coffee throughout the day or anything caffeinated. The tea was a much gentler interaction in my body, right? So I didn't get the fall offs where I was like, oh my gosh, I need more. It was just a really nice, even keel throughout the day. That's one of my favorite things about the system.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you can drink. A lot of times we'll think, can I still drink coffee? Absolutely. Drink your coffee, And I don't know, this is another little story about Amanda and I, that maybe I shouldn't be telling, but I will. We were coffee junkies, like big coffee junkies. There's people like, oh, I love my coffee. I'm like, I had a Keurig in my bathroom. In my master bathroom, there was a Keurig in our it was a double vanity, so it wasn't like next to the toilet, but we had a Keurig in our master bathroom. And I had a little refrigerator to carry the creamer, right? Because I don't want to go downstairs. We just, in the morning, we'd bring our cups, or the night, we'd bring our cups up. And so we had a clean cup, and we wouldn't have to go downstairs to get our coffee. I don't know how big of a coffee nut you are, but did you have a coffee maker in your bathroom? Like, that's what we did. And within a month, it was like we kind of accidentally quit drinking coffee, like accidentally quit. I had no intentions of quitting. I just kind of accidentally quit. And every now and then the smell of coffee, like I'll walk by a good coffee shop, like a real coffee shop, not a Starbucks, like a real coffee shop, and you get that scent, and it's like, oh, I want a cup of coffee. Every now and then that happens, but now I kind of accidentally quit drinking coffee. It's like a pot of coffee a day.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Was that why I was in the bathroom? Just say
it was literally there. I wish I could say it was Amanda's idea, but I think it was my idea. I was like, you know what? Let's just get another coffee maker for our bathroom. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, I mean, downstairs in the morning, I don't want to do that. I blame it on the knees, blame it on the ankles, the inflammation, the discomfort. I had no idea it was insulin resistance, right? I had to have a coffee maker in my bathroom because of insulin resistance. There it is, right there. That's the connection.
Yes, for sure. I didn't know that term either. Insulin resistant. Not really. Didn't think I had it, but all those things right there, the sleep, the inflammation in my body, I was there. It was just a matter of time before my A1C was going to increase.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charlene, Dr. Tiff, do you have anything you want to say to Charlene before? Or
I don't. Wonderful story. So happy that you're on here sharing it with so many people, and just love to see your face.
Thank you.
Charlene, I'm going to shut your camera down for a couple of minutes. I'm going to blaze through the product, how to use the product and that sort of thing. People have heard a lot, and I want to bring you all back out for any questions or anything like that. So if you'll hang tight for me for just a few minutes, and Shah, stay warm back there. This is how it really should be, huh?
Whatever, man.
This is the ratio. Okay, so what is this system? All sorts of crazy good stuff. Let me get into my bag of goodies here. So we've got two different products. You heard about tea and fiber. Let's talk about tea. Tea. Unimate. This is Unimate lemon. This is Unimate lemon ginger. These are like the old standbys. These things have been around since Unimate was released. Right now, there are some limited time flavors. Unimate Fierce, which I'll talk about here in a moment, and apple spice. So if you are kind of don't really like spicy, don't really like any sort of sweetie, any sort of thing, just lemon. This just tastes like an Arnold Palmer. Okay. Lemonade and tea. Okay. And then you got lemon ginger. Imagine that same Arnold Palmer with a little bit of a ginger snap on the back of your throat.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit of a, hey, there's some heat here. Ginger, hi, how you doing? And then there's Unamate Fierce, which is a ninja. It's no longer a little snap. It's more like a big swift kick. Like, hey,
Yeah.
it's hot, actually. I played a little joke on my mom earlier. I made her a cup of this, and I told her to just smell the cup before I added water.
Oh, wrong.
I did. And then apple spice. Think Christmas in a cup. Okay, Unamate Fierce, I'm addicted to it, guys. I'm absolutely addicted to it, but it's hot. It kicks like a mule. It's hot, but I love it. And if you put these two together, that's the ticket. I'm addicted to that too. So, okay, so let's talk about what is Unamate. Unamate is a yerba mate extract, and by that I mean yerba mate tea. Maybe you're familiar with yerba mate tea. This is a tea that's been pretty widely consumed for the last 500 to 1,000 years in South America. The indigenous people of the regions of South America that are now Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, parts of Uruguay, they would say that this stuff made them feel full, gave them an amazing boost of energy. They refer to it as the drink of the gods. Argentina still, it's the national drink of Argentina. This is the most widely consumed beverage in South America. Anyway, what is it that's in that yerba mate that's making people feel so amazing? It's this little thing called chlorogenic acid. And Dr. Tiff kind of touched on chlorogenic acid, but chlorogenic acid has been shown to reduce appetite, body weight. It helps with lipids control. It helps with glucose control. It helps with, lipids metabolism, glucose control, hypertension. If you have high blood pressure, and now we know that, hey, all of this stuff kind of has something to do with insulin resistance. So that's kind of the tie. Chlorogenic acid kind of attacks that. But there's a lot of other things in yerba mate, like theobromine. If you've ever been told, hey, when you're sad, eat some dark chocolate, it'll make you happy. That's theobromine. And I want to touch on that little connection right there because, Dr. Tiff, I don't feel like we ever do talk about that enough. Theobromine, a lot of amazing benefits. If you know anybody that has gout, theobromine's been shown to prohibit the crystallization of the uric acid at the surface of the skin. Gout. It's also been shown to prohibit the crystallization of uric acid kidney stones. Now, those make up about 10% of the kidney stones out there. Theobromine. It's also been shown to improve cardiovascular health, blood flow, all sorts of things. But theobromine has a very interesting relationship with chocolate or with caffeine. It comes alongside caffeine. And, a lot of people would say I'm caffeine sensitive. They have a hard time with coffee. They have a hard time with a soda or something like that. I ask them, do you have a hard time with chocolate? And they always say no. Rarely do they say yes to chocolate, right? Chocolate has caffeine in it. And the reason they don't have a problem with chocolate is because of the theobromine. Theobromine has this really interesting relationship with caffeine. It kind of nullifies it. It kind of balances it out. And so what you will get from Unamate, we are starting with that yerba plant. We are hand picking it, fire roasting it, but then we stop the traditional process and extract the good things like chlorogenic acid, theobromine, mate saponins, antioxidants. We extract these wonderful things, we concentrate them, and then purify it, get rid of things that we don't want, things like heavy metals and pesticides and that sort of thing, specifically looking for 26 different things to pull out of the Unamate. Once they have that, they package it. You add this to water. You've got a bottle like Dr. Tiffany has there. We call them a diamond bottle. Or you could do like I do and add it to a Yeti tumbler. This is about twice as much water as she has right there. Sip on it. Hot or cold, as much or as little water as you want, sip on it. What you're going to notice is appetite suppression. It gets rid of the food noise, an amazing boost of energy, mental clarity like Charlene was just talking about. You'll just feel good. But behind the scenes, it is a novel insulin sensitizer. Chlorogenic acid acts in a similar way to metformin. It increases GLP-1 production. In fact, Dr. Ben Bickman, who Dr. Tiff and I are going to go see this weekend, has a video where he said this increases GLP-1 by up to 70% during a fasted state. Pretty crazy. Anyway, that is Unimate. Let's talk about Balance real quick. Balance is the fiber supplement that comes alongside this. Balance comes in 2 different flavors. Natural orange, which has been around since the late 80s, literally since the late 80s. Tastes like orange Julius or an orange creamsicle, something like that. And then mixed berry, which tastes like a sweet tart or a Jolly Rancher or something along those lines. Both of them, you kind of feel like you're cheating and eating dessert before you have dinner. Now, this is a blend of 7 different plant-based fibers. It's paired with a multivitamin. That multivitamin is a full B complex, so B6, B7, B9, B12. I believe it's even got B3. Chromium, zinc, riboflavin, niacin. One of those actually I think is B3. Anyway, it's got a full B complex. Now, interestingly enough, if you've been on metformin for a period of time, one of the side effects associated with metformin is a B12 deficiency. Pretty well known, B12 deficiencies. And B12 deficiencies lead to neuropathy. So if you are a person who's been on metformin for a period of time and you have a B12 deficiency and you have neuropathy, that's probably something you want to explore. Balance has 1,040% of your B12 in each packet, your recommended daily intake. So boom, we see a lot of people seeing a lot of relief in their neuropathy department. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how does this work? You wake up, you drink a Unimate. Simple. Sip on your Unimate. When that Unimate is gone, drink a second one. It's so easy. You're doing this while you fast. When you break your fast, you can have 2 meals throughout the afternoon. So one at lunch, one at dinner. When you have that meal, whichever meal has the most carbohydrates with, you drink your Balance immediately before it, then you enjoy the meal. It is so simple. It is so simple. This thing costs $159 per month, which breaks down to about $5.30 per day. Not very expensive. In fact, you can't get through a Starbucks drive-through for $5.30. You can't get through a McDonald's drive-through. You can't get through the gas station, the convenience store, just getting a bag of chips. You can't do that in a soda for $5.30. That's what this thing costs. Unicity offers a 90-day money-back guarantee. They accept HSAs, FSAs, so health savings accounts, flex spending accounts. They also accept credit cards. I believe Klarna. I'm pretty sure Klarna. I'm pretty sure Apple Pay. I'm pretty sure PayPal. Mm-hmm. Very flexible with ways to get this into you, okay? But they offer a 90-day money-back guarantee. What they're guaranteeing is if you try their products consistently for 90 days, you will see a reduction in your blood glucose, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your body weight. They have a little fasting app that you would download alongside this and just keep track of your fasting hours with that. If you use that app and if you use these products consistently, they guarantee success. If you're not happy, ask for a refund. It's that simple. I did forget to say real quick, how did I skip this? The Cleveland Clinic, top heart hospital in the United States, one of the best in the world, Dr. Tiff. Mm-hmm. They did what they call a double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized clinical trial. It was peer-reviewed. It was published. It's been cited 20 times. That study concluded, they said, such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need and or dose for lipid-lowering prescription drugs, aka statins. 23 years ago, the Cleveland Clinic knew that there was a solution. They knew it. In 2011, the University of Sydney, Australia, which is the home of the glycemic index, they studied this, July of 2011. More than that, Dr. Jenny Brand Miller studied it. Dr. Jenny Brand Miller is in charge of that program at the University of Sydney, and she observed a 20 to 28% reduction in blood glucose, 13 to 27% reduction in blood insulin, and she noticed that it lowered the glycemic as well as the insulin indexes for all 3 test foods she put in front of it, from high to medium. Basically, it took a bad food and made it better. Yeah. Okay, if you start applying better habits and you apply this system to just better habits, if you want to just hit that, this is just a way to get through the finish line. Okay, I'm going to bring back, did I miss anything, Dr. Tiff?
No. Nope.
Okay. I'm going to bring back Shah and Charlene, and as usual, we're right at that time. I want to open this up for anybody. I didn't see any questions. Does anybody have any questions for our amazing panel here? If so, please feel free to throw them in the comments section. While we're waiting for that, I want to go to this is my favorite part, Dr. Tiff. Charlene, there are skeptics out there. They're watching this. They're thinking that this is hocus pocus. They think this is whatever they're going to call it, right? There's no way. Too good to be true. You got 30 seconds to address them. What do you say, Charlene?
I always say, give it a try. I was a skeptic too. But once I tried it, I was given the product, given the opportunity to try, and I did, and it changed my life, and it can change their life.
I want to beat this drum really quick before I move to Shah. Another medical professional, pharmacist, another medical professional. This is crazy. Shah, same question to you. What would you say to that person who's skeptical, sitting here thinking this is snake oil, something, some smooth talker, Dr. Tiffany?
I would pretty much say that unless you try it, what do you have to lose trying it? Especially because it is a guarantee. That's what got me. At first I was like, oh, that's a lot of money a month. I don't think I want to do that. But then I kept hearing the 90-day, and I thought, well, what do I have to lose? I tried it. And after the 8 or 9 weeks, it was I just knew I was going to do it. And it worked for me. It changed my life in a beautiful way. And like Charlene was saying, for the pain, I was experiencing whatever pain I had arthritic pain in my fingers that has shifted. So try it, because you'll be surprised. If you don't like it, I mean, it's so easy to use in your life as well. It's very easy to bring it into your life with the fasting and processing all of the information. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, Demetria in the comments section just said nothing about the product is harmful to the body. And that does bring me real quick before I go to your closing words, Dr. Tiff. The Physician's Desk Reference, the PDR. This is a book that's been published since 1946, and it's where people like Dr. Tiffany or Charlene would go to look up information about commonly prescribed pharmaceuticals, things like metformin, Ozempic, what have you. This is where they find out contraindications, adverse reactions, dosing considerations, that sort of thing. They also list nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals are kind of the all-natural version of the pharmaceuticals. And there's a lot of companies that would love to get their products in there. Procter & Gamble, for example, would love to get Metamucil, a competitor, to balance into that. But Procter & Gamble does not have Metamucil in there because you can't buy your way in. You've got to have clinical validation. Now, there are no problems with this in the PDR. So you can hear me say that there's really no side effects or anything like that, but you can go to the PDR and look up, there are no side effects to these products. You can use them with your medications. Anyway, Dr. Tiffany, final word. What do you got?
Most of the people that are listening to this or watching this, they're doing that because someone invited them, because they care about their health, or they have some kind of questions and thinking that they could benefit from this. And so I think they have 3 choices. 1, you sat and you heard all this, you heard the testimonies, you heard the science, you see people passionate about this. You have one choice: to sit and do absolutely nothing, like a lot of people do. Another choice is to actually go see your doctor, because you believe you're going to get the best answers there, and sometimes that might lead to another prescription, another side effects, drug interactions. Or you can throw caution to the wind and actually see how your health can improve with something that has a 90-day money-back guarantee and try to prove us wrong. I really believe you have 3 choices, and it's about figuring out which choice are you going to make. We invited you here for a reason. We care about your health. We, as in everybody that invited you, and we want to see you with better health. We want to see you take your health back.
You know, and to that expensive part, it's not that expensive if you consider it costs $20,000 a year to be sick.
Right. That part.
Yeah, pretty inexpensive. Ladies, you guys are amazing. Thank you, Dr. Tiff. You're amazing. Anybody who's in Orlando, I would love to meet you. Would love to shake your hand. We'll be there. This does lead us to next week, Dr. Tiff. We will be traveling next week.
Yes.
So we will not be live next week, but we've got a nice little replay coming up. I'm kind of excited about that. So
yes.
You guys have a wonderful week.